Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale, up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Searching for a romantic summer getaway? Escape with Rich Girl Summer, the new Audible original from Lily Chu. The exquisitely talented Philippa Sue, returning to narrate her 5th Lily Chu title. This time, Philippa is joined by her real-life husband, Stephen Pasquale. Set in Toronto's wealthy cottage country, aka the Hamptons of Canada, Rich Girl Summer follows the story of Valerie, a down-on-her-luck event planner posing as a socialite's long-lost daughter, while piecing together the secrets surrounding a mysterious family and falling deeper and deeper in love with the impossibly hard-to-read and infuriatingly handsome family assistant, Nico. Caught between pretending to belong and unexpectedly finding where she truly fits in, Valerie learns her summer is about to get far more complicated than she ever planned. She's in over her head and head over heels. Listen to Rich Girl Summer now on Audible. Go to audible.com/richgirlsummer.
AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Richard Dickson will be here in about 13 minutes from right now. The college football world had a good laugh at Auburn today. Justin Hawkinson from Auburn Sports, part of the On3 network, reported that Auburn is going to claim now 9 football national championships. Prior, like in the stadium, the flags that they have in the stadium, all they had was 1957 and 2010, the Scam Newton title. Shout out to Harvey Updike. Rip, pour one out. This is one of the most laughable things. And by the way, I follow Justin on Twitter. He's been on the show. He's a good reporter, all that stuff. The lead of his piece over at Auburn Sports is, it's about time Auburn football, italicized, finally will claim bold 9 deserving and legitimate college football national championships. Like, you want to talk about editorializing a news report, italics, bold, and qualifiers like finally, deserving, and legitimate. Listen, everyone is making fun of Auburn today, and everyone should be making fun of Auburn today. I opened the show today by congratulating Auburn on doing something that is unprecedented. I don't think that in any sport there's ever been a program, a school, a team, an organization to win 7 national championships in a day. It's a pretty remarkable feat that Auburn has accomplished. And I'm not here to get into the merits of any of these seasons. They're now claiming 1910. Don't give a rip. 1913, 1914, don't give a rip. They're claiming 1958, by the way. Auburn's claiming the 1958 national championship. Sorry to Billy Cannon and Warren Rabb and the late Paul Dietzel and the Chinese Bandits. It felt like a good run, and since 1958, we've had a hell of a good time honoring that team. And too bad, little did we know that LSU didn't actually win that title. It was actually the Auburn Tigers, because they were honored by they won the Montgomery Full Season Championship, awarded by David Montgomery. Apparently, that was just a guy named David Montgomery who gave out a championship. They're claiming 1983 because Billingsley, Fact, Football Research, Sagarin, New York Times, and NCAA Football Record Book gave them the 1983. Now, the Associated Press or legitimate organizations, none of them did, but something called Fact, F-A-C-T, did. 1993, they were on probation. Oh, it's Terry Bowden's undefeated season. By the way, never mind the fact that Terry's dad, Bobby, actually won the national championship in 1993. I wonder if Terry Bowden is pissed now that the school that he went undefeated at is now challenging his dad's national title. Whatever. Again, I'm not here to argue about the merits of any of this, of the seasons. I do think it's high comedy today that Alabama fans, including our social media director, Chris Marler, are clowning Auburn for claiming fake titles when Alabama is the king of claiming fake titles. It's kind of incredible now that the state of Alabama, between Auburn and Alabama, have more fake national titles than any other school's legitimate national titles. I mean, that's one hell of a feat there by the state of Alabama. I mean, the complete and total penis envy of each other is unmatched. I mean, what are you doing? John Cohen, God bless, is a Mississippi State guy who's now the Auburn athletic director, clearly comes from a place that's never won anything, and no disrespect to Mississippi State. That felt like a stray, but it was. But it's honest. So you go to a place that has won something in the past and has grander expectations, and you think this is the way to go? Like, I can't imagine an athletic director at LSU coming through and being like, we're going to claim 1908. We're claiming it. I mean, I'd be like, we're good. We're good. 58 was awesome. 03 was incredible. 07 was an amazing, roller coaster of a season. 19 was orgasmic. I mean, we're good. I'm great. I'm great with the four that are all very legitimate and happy with that. But what I would really like to point out is ever since the weekend, when the Big Ten floated the idea of a 24-2018 playoff, and all I've heard from rational people that I respect is about the sacred college football regular season. Do you realize what this is? Let me ask you a question. We got any fake titles from 2024? Anybody? Fake title? Anybody going to claim a fake title from 2024?
There's no fake title.
Oh, really? Why is that?
They had a playoff. Yeah.
We had a playoff. We determined it on the field. It is this is the quintessential example. This could not have come at a better time to explain why. The things that I say all the time about college football's regular season and the postseason, which has been nothing but a bastardized money grab by old men in ugly jackets. We literally have an athletic director, a grown adult human today, who makes 7 figures a year and runs a $100 million athletic department that is claiming 7 national titles dating all the way back to 1910. Do you realize how fundamentally absurd this is? In what sport, in what reality, in what world would this make sense in anything else? What if Russia just came out today and was like, you know what? We're claiming the gold medal from the 1910 100 meters. Just throwing it out. We'd be like, what? Oh, well, somebody thought we were faster that day. And even though we lost the race, it doesn't really matter because someone thought we were faster. So we're hanging a banner. I mean, Auburn, fly your flags, hang your banners, put it on your media guys. Nobody cares. It's all just about public perception. It's no different than Louisville being stripped of their 2013 basketball national title. We all saw it. It happened. They were a great team. It's rescinding titles vacating titles is stupid. But this is why, y'all. This is why. Like, history right now is laughing at college football because of how stupid this postseason has been for so long, where something like literally, in the 1913 title that Auburn claims, it says it right here. Billingsley MOV, margin of victory. Auburn's claiming a 1913 national title because of their margin of victory. Like, what if we go back to, like, the NBA in the second year of the NBA and find out who had the largest margin of victory and said, let's give them the Larry O'Brien trophy? That's fundamentally absurd. You want to know why? Because you had a regular season with an established postseason set up. Teams played in. They knew the rules, played into the postseason, had a postseason, you determined a champion. That's how it's worked in every sport for the history of mankind except college football. We love college football in spite of college football. College football has so much wrong with it. We love draping ourselves in our school colors and singing the fight song and going into the stadium and taunting other fans and cheering for our team and drinking beers and going nuts and celebrating the four-corner salute. I love all of it too. I'm with you. But we love college football in spite of itself. Because we love all of that stuff, we overlook all of the absurdity. We have been force-fed for our entire lives this absolutely absurd notion about the sacred regular season of college football. And on this day, if you're going to look at today and make fun of Auburn for claiming 7 national titles they didn't win, and then defend college football and say we don't need an expanded playoff, you are a hypocrite. There's no other way around it. You are the problem. You have done the thing in the Matrix where the green pill, whatever, the ignorance is bliss. That's what you are. Like, it's staring you straight in the face today. This is the reality of college football. That some jackass 115 years later can claim a national title and hang a banner and everyone's like, oh, that's normal. Do you understand how absurd that sounds? It's stupid. John Cohen, you are stupid. It's a stupid thing to do. Every Auburn fan that's celebrating, you are stupid. This is just stupid. But that's college football. And the fact that anyone would accept this is normal. Sports is a true meritocracy, people. It's one of the most beautiful things about sports. In a world filled with subjectivity, sports is a true meritocracy. You line up between the white lines for 60 minutes, you play the game, you keep score, there are winners, there are losers. That's the beauty of sports. There's no 8th place damn trophies. Somebody wins, somebody loses, you learn life lessons therein. And in college football, it's the only sport in the history of the world where you can win every game you play and don't even have a chance to win a championship. Like, I've actually heard some morons today try to discredit Auburn in 2004 because USC and Oklahoma started the season 1-2 and went undefeated. So? Then why did everybody else even bother to play a damn season? I also watched that Orange Bowl game where Oklahoma got the stuff kicked out of them. Almost did it right there. What if I also watched Miami in 2002, who was awesome, lose an overtime game to Ohio State with Craig Krenzel at quarterback. They went and had a great day and won a game on the field. Doesn't matter what your opinion is or my opinion is or anybody's opinion is or what the Montgomery full season championship meant. You played a game on the field, there was a winner. That's what we love about sports, and college football is the only friggin' sport in the world where that doesn't matter. So give me all the beautiful things about college football. Give me fight songs, give me on-campus stadiums, give me school colors, give me mascots. Let Ralphie run on the damn field. Put Mike the Tiger in the friggin' cage and ride his ass around the field. Make him earn his keep 7 days a year. Let the eagle fly around the stadium. Let the South Carolina Gamecocks stand on a little post and cock-a-doodle-doo. All the beautiful things. Fight songs and marching bands. All of it. Script Ohio, four-corner salute, the whole thing. Touchdown, Jesus. Love it. All of it. We all love college football. But college football, we love it in spite of itself because it is the stupidest sport ever because of crap like this. That an athletic director can claim 7 titles his school did not win and pass them off as legitimate, and we think, oh, that's normal. If there has ever been a clearer example of how stupid college football is, this is it. Thank God we have a 12-team playoff. Thank God we're going to get to 16. And I hope the Big Ten commissioner gets his way and we go to 24, 28, and ultimately 32. And one plays 32 and so on. And you have a real, actual playoff. So 100 years from now, some stupid-ass athletic director doesn't come down the pipe and say, you know what? We won the Matt Moscona championship in 2036. And so we're going to fly a flag. I've been yelling about this my whole career, and I still have idiots that try to combat me. How can you possibly make a rational argument today against an expanded playoff when an athletic director claimed 7 freaking titles in one day? Billy Cannon, LSU, 1958, the Chinese Bandits. Everything that, if you grow up loving LSU, everything that you've been taught, read in books, watched the black and white footage, all of it. And today, Auburn's like, no, we won that one. God bless. God bless. If you're still sitting there today going, oh, we don't need more. No, we don't need to expand them. You know what we need? We need James Howell's power rating system because they crowned Auburn a champion in 1914. So now, 111 years later, because John Cohen is a moron, decides, let's fly a flag. We're going to claim that one because of James Howell. I need some water. I need a priest. I need to go take a piss. I would love a cigar right now. A glass of whiskey. I want to go jump in my pool. I just want to be done with this right now. Oh my God. No, let's just, I'm going to start all over. Just go, hit the thing.
AFR.
We're brought to you by Duplessis Builders, DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. We'll probably make that into a short, but I probably want the whole thing up too, just so people don't lose context. DuplessisBuilders.net. Build a pool and call Duplessis because they're awesome. What am I going to say right now? After all that, my head is sweating so much right now. My head's sweating. You know what I could do? I'll go to the cold plunge over at Duplessis. Was there on Sunday. Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, and Bryson Martinez and me. We all got in a cold plunge. The cold plunge challenge. Expect that content coming soon. 3 5-stars and a 43-year-old bald guy doing a cold plunge. Can you spell viral? John Cohen can. DuplessisBuilders.net, DuplessisBuilders.net. Let's make it happen, y'all. Build your pool. DuplessisBuilders.net.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
She's the only one who really understands what gets me.
Lauren Maxwell and Kyle Matschke. They agreed in 1910, Auburn, Natty champs, hang the banner 115 years later. Christ almighty help me. Richard Dickson's here. He won a national championship. How would you feel if in 110 years after you're dead and you're looking down from heaven, some athletic director at a chump school says, no, my school won the 2007 national championship?
Kind of BS and don't make any sense. And
yeah,
like if we're going to go off like power rankings index, I feel like they should run type of index to where the amount of times we threw the ball when I played versus the amount of times they throw the ball now. I think I need 5 more touchdowns and 50 more receptions. That'd be pretty good.
Richard Dickson, College Football Hall of Famer. Hang the banner.
I'll take it.
Hey, okay. I mean, would you have? I just yelled for a long time about the Auburn thing, and it's not even about the Auburn. It's not necessarily them because they're stupid for doing this, but it's more just the whole premise of what college football's postseason has been its entire existence. I mean, I love the idea of an expanded playoff, Rich, because sports is a meritocracy.
No doubt.
And
I mean, it was a pageant show for the longest time. The biggest names with the most recognition. You know, that's what got you into the BCS a long time ago. I mean, I still think if you want to give Auburn any credit, was it when I was 2005, 2004 when they went undefeated in the SEC and didn't make it?
Yeah.
That was BS.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I brought up. I mean, it's like, and people say, well, it was USC and Oklahoma were 1-2 at the beginning of the season, and that's exactly the problem. So you could win every game. You can win every game, and you don't even get a chance to play for it. Like, it's such a farce. Anyway, thank God we're beyond that. If we go to a 64-team playoff, that might be excessive, but I'd be like, give me that. Give me that over 100 years from now, some loser AD claiming something that didn't actually exist.
Wait till you lose.
Well, this LSU team, Rich, I think is going to have a great opportunity, man. They're super talented. I know Brian Kelly talked today and talked about the ongoing shuffle on the offensive line. Where do you rate that as far as cause for concern? 11 days from the opener, still not having a set starting five?
Everything I've heard, when everybody's talking about, was it the Kern that's moved to right tackle earlier this week, got some first-team reps. Everybody I've talked to, everything I've heard from the coaches, every interview that I've heard was they were pretty solid at the tackles. What I take that is you got to know who your next guy up is. You got to figure out who your third guy is, who can be the swing tackle, who can get in there. And this time of the year, I mean, you got to get reps with the guys you're going to play at. I don't care if you got your first team playing, taking all your first team reps, second team. You got to mix those guys in because at one point, somebody on that second team is going to be playing with the first team, and it's all about continuity.
So you're good with them continuing to rotate at this point?
At this point, you got to figure out. I mean, I take it as, and look, I'm not at practice every day. I'm not watching the film, but everything I've heard the coaches talk about these offensive linemen is, they're very impressed with what they're doing. They're happy with the progress, and I don't care who it is. When you're putting a freshman in who's getting as much talk as Kern is, that's to me is a good problem. I think competition builds the strongest teams.
Richard Dickson is with us. So, obviously, Rich, on the offensive side, when you start with a senior in Nussmeier, it feels like that would alleviate a lot of whatever transition or growing pains there might be on the interior. How much do you think Nuss can maybe, I don't know if I'm phrasing this right, but cover for whatever deficiencies may happen while they're trying to figure out their best five playing together?
I think it's big. I mean, I can give you a reverse example with a senior center and a freshman quarterback. Whereas when Brett Helms, after 07 and 08, when Jarrett Lee got there, Jarrett still needed help on that. But you had that senior leadership coming from your center position who was making all the calls, correcting him. He had the override authority when they were sliding the protections and calling out the mics. Right now, Nussmeier's going to have that overriding authority. They're not going to look to the center or whoever to make the calls. Nuss is going to make the final decision. And as long as you have one guy that is making the final call and making the decision on which way everybody's going, I think is a positive.
Former Tiger tight end Richard Dickson is with us here on the show. Talk about your position a little bit, man. They got three guys there that they like a lot with Trades, Bowers, Sharp, and Donovan Green. How do you think they, with obviously Mason Taylor, the most decorated receiving tight end in the history of the program, how do they start to make up for that without maybe one guy that can do everything he did?
Well, I think you got two guys in Bauer Sharp and Trades Green. Look, Bauer Sharp is your veteran of the group. He's a guy that's played in 37 college games. He had 22 starts, 80 career receptions and 6. He's a guy that's been around. Trades is a guy that's just a freak show that, he has the ability out there to where he can make a mistake and overcome with his size and speed. So you got two guys right there that I feel very confident in receiving the ball. My biggest question for me is, Mason Taylor was, I always said, a B- blocker. He was never going to be just the guy that you're going to run behind all the time. But who's going to step up and be that guy when we're talking about having a better run game and improving in the run game and having one of those guys? Donovan Green is a little bit the bigger size guy, but Bauer Sharp is, to me, from everything I'm hearing in the size of either 6'5", 245 pounds, he's a guy that I think that can do it all.
How important is it for this offense, for the tight end, to be as impactful as Taylor was?
You know, that's a great question because all you hear anybody talking about is the plethora of receivers they have. You want to have a guy that can get in there and be the check down guy, the safety blanket for a quarterback, but Nuss doesn't need necessarily a safety blanket. He's got a bunch of receivers he can go after and trust where they're going to be. But, I mean, it's also another wrinkle. Look, it's harder to cover 4 than it is to cover 3.
Wait, go a little deeper there. What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is, like, the focus, you got to have a receiving threat at tight end. He can have the 3 best wide receivers out there, and you can go, your 2 corners, a safety, nickel, whatever, you're going to slide that way. But somewhere you need a weak link is going to cover the tight end. So if you have a guy like a Bauer Sharp or a Trades Green, a guy that, I mean, Trades Green to me is going to take focus off a receiver. He's 6'7". He's a guy that runs like a wide receiver. I think he plays like a wide receiver a lot of the time. He's going to develop where 2 people are going to have an eye on him. It's going to open up for a wide receiver. So when I say it's better to have, 4 covering 3, they're going to have to shade somebody somewhere. And with all the receivers they have, you put a Trades or a Bauer Sharp in, they're going to have to not leave their least, the worst pass coverage guy on a tight end.
And I know you and Charles do the Handycast each week. And for those who don't know it, go to YouTube, subscribe to the Handycast. Charles Handegriff and Richard Dickson do the Handycast every week, and they look at game film and X and O, the LSU game for that week. The rushing offense, the run game, Rich, is something that's got so much conversation because LSU was 107th in the country last year. It can't just be as simple as the offensive line wasn't good run blockers. I'm certain that was part of it, but we've talked about a lot of things, right? I mean, they threw it 60% of the time. They really didn't have a true deep threat. Caden Durham was injured. I mean, there's a lot of things therein. What do you think is the most important thing as LSU starts a new season to be able to be more impactful in the running game?
It's just consistency, getting out there and doing it. And, I heard you and Cole Kublik's conversation the other day, and I thought it was very, a great take on it.
Okay.
And when you're not asked to do something a lot, you're not going to be great at it. But also, where you were talking about when you went back to Jaden's first 2 years, I think the numbers are a little bit skewed when you go to the run game because every scramble counts as a run. And Jaden's best runs were scrambles a lot of the time. That run game looks a lot different when you're adding an 80-yard scrambles for a touchdown. Jaden made up a lot. I don't think that group was ever really great at run block, but they've also been elite pass blockers. And when you had a running quarterback like Jaden who could take a scramble and turn it into 80 yards, 40 yards, 15 yards, and a first down, those numbers look a lot better. But last year, I think, the complaint we had a lot was there was times where Nuss needed to run the ball. He had to run the ball, and he didn't. And it put the offense line at a disadvantage.
Richard Dickson's with us, former Tiger tight end. You'll be on with Handy again for Eagle 98.1 Game Day postgame this year?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, man. Looking forward to that. Is there something on the defensive side that you're interested or most excited to see a week from Saturday?
Man, I'm ready to see them weak boys run. The Whit Weeks, to me, has been one of the most fun guys to watch. He's a guy that, to me, had a very similar, oncoming, not as explosive as Harold Perkins, but he plays the same way. He's fast. He goes after people. He's aggressive. Having those guys and Harold Perkins back, I think Gabe Relaford on the end. You got the D tackle. I was really high on Bro last year. Man, I think that this is, I'm saying this because I'm very hopeful. I can't take another year of the last 3 years of defense we've had, and I'm just looking for these guys to go out there and bust some heads.
Rich, they asked us at LouisianaSports.net to do a bold prediction. And for me, my bold prediction was that LSU will finish in the top 20 nationally in total defense for the first time since 2017. You realize that's the last time they were top 20 nationally? It was 2017.
No. And, I grew up being an LSU guy. The defense ran everything. We just had to score enough points.
Yeah. I don't know that it's going to look like that. And look, in 2007, y'all were a really fun offense to watch with Croton. I mean, that thing was pretty wide open that year. But the talent upgrade, Rich, and I mean, I don't get to see every minute, but they give us a lot of access. And I've been going out there long enough to know, like, what it's supposed to look like and what it has looked like. And this is kind of what it's supposed to look like, you know?
Well, you finally got some. I mean, the two young D tackles we had last year, and the two freshmen, those are the defensive tackles I'm used to playing with. Those are the guys that we're used to seeing at LSU. And when you have freshmen making an impact at a position, you're not supposed to make an impact as a true freshman. That gave me all the hope I wanted for the years coming. Gabe Relaford is another guy that they're finally starting to get guys recruited and playing on this defense that look like a traditional LSU defense.
Yeah. They have a big task coming up a week from Saturday over in Clemson, South Carolina. You going to do you and Handy going to do a preview of LSU and Clemson?
Yeah, I think we're going to start next Friday is when we're going to start doing the football stuff, start for week 0. We're going to do a show, of course, without film prior to the Clemson game, and we're going to break down some stuff. I mean, dude, this is a big game just from the standpoint of I can't take anybody else telling me that we've lost the first game for 6 years in a row. That's not how you want to get started. Now, this might be the hardest first game of the year in that 5-year stretch, but it's a big one. And look, Brian Kelly, they've all made a big deal about it. I hope they've not made too big of a deal about it. But this is something that's, it's going to set the tone for the season.
Do you like that they made a big deal out of it?
I'm not used to that. I mean, we're used to the next game's the next game, and not making such a big deal of it. I get where he's coming from. I mean, this is 5 years in a row of just losing the first game and everybody's freaking chest deflated week 1. But, I would say I'm not a big fan of making a big deal, but I understand it.
All right. Week from Saturday, we'll find out what the Tigers will have ahead of them and all the work they've done this offseason. Richard Dickson, you'll hear him on Eagle 98.1 Game Day Postgame with Handy 90 minutes after every game this year on Eagle 98.1. And, of course, the Handycast. Make sure you get over and subscribe on YouTube if you haven't done so yet. Always appreciate the visit, man. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Be well. We're brought to you by Evermore. I could use a sip of Evermore right now, clear my throat. After all that yelling I did. An appropriately timed guest. It's a good time to have Richard on the show. Old Dick Dickson. They do a great job too, by the way, breaking down the film. So look forward to the Handy. If you're not subscribed to Handycast on YouTube or podcast, you need to be. Richard and Charles do an awesome job throughout the season. You need to be subscribed. Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Drink Evermore natural artesian water. It's a healthier product. It's a Louisiana product. They got national distribution. I mean, I've had listeners to this show from all over the country snap me shots in their supermarkets, 7-Eleven, whatever it is, of Evermore they see on the shelves. Yeah, it's a Louisiana product from right there on the North Shore in Covington. It's bottled in by RTD Beverages in Covington, Louisiana, with national distribution. Find the retailer nearest you or order online at evermore.com, EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Have you missed anything? We had Shea Dixon now. We're on talking a little Cruton. We had Ross Jackson with us last hour. You just heard Richard Dickson. You miss anything, you can always get AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Dabo met with reporters and gave a little bit of an update on his team's preparation as we're a little more than a week out from a giant opener with LSU and Clemson. Don't you move, it's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I love telling you about the Renaissance and the Watermark, two amazing hotel properties, Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge. Tallulah, inside of the Renaissance Hotel, Renaissance Baton Rouge, a great spot, man. If you've never been to Tallulah, get there for a business lunch or a place to have a cocktail, a night on the town. Good spot right there on Bluebonnet. They have the indoor-outdoor flow. It's Tallulah inside the Renaissance Hotel. And as we always say, be it Renaissance or Watermark, Allison Crump, who's their events coordinator for both properties, I love her line. She says, we're in the business of saying yes. So if you have an idea for an event, they've got the space, and they'll manipulate their space however they need to make it fit your event. A boardroom for 12 people. We had our Louisiana Sports Night launch party. We did it in the foyer, like between Tallulah and the terrace, the outdoor area. It was awesome setup right there. You need their ballroom for 500 people. They can do it. It's the Renaissance Hotel. Visit Renaissance Baton Rouge.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
But if it runs like a deer, man, her eyes light up. She thinks my tractor sexy.
Always appreciate our friends at Sunshine. SunnyQuip.com, SunnyQuip.com. Bunky and below, you want a deer, you're going to Sunshine. They're the best. Visit them online at SunnyQuip.com. You get your box, you get your fans, you can get your generators, all that you need there for tailgating right around the bend. Portable fans, generators, chargers from their new brand, Ego. Check them out, SunnyQuip.com. Tailgating season right around the bend, y'all. Dabo met with reporters. Actually, was on the ACC Network road trip, and they covered a little bit of ground. One of the things with LSU Clemson that we've talked so much about the LSU side. As we get closer to the game, we're going to start to talk more about the Clemson side of it all. Clemson was a college football playoff team a year ago, but they weren't without flaw. Remember, they lost 34-3 to Georgia. They lost to Louisville on their home field. They lost on their home field to South Carolina 17-14. And they got in the playoff, as we've talked about, because Miami choked against Syracuse, which allowed Clemson to sort of backdoor their way in. And then they won the ACC championship game against SMU, where SMU actually had a shot at a field goal at the end of the game. Could have won it, but it was 34-31 was the final in that ball game. Where if you remember, Clemson got up big, and then they were up 24-7. Then SMU stormed all the way back to tie the game, and then Clemson won it on a 56-yard field goal there as time expired to win it 34-31 and go to the college football playoff. But defensively, Clemson has had a lot of talent, but they were really poor a year ago in spots, especially against the run. They ranked in the 50s. They were actually ranked in the 90s nationally in yards per rush allowed. So that was a team that had talent, but the talent didn't necessarily live up to the standard that they had set. So they've got a new defensive coordinator here at Clemson this year in Tom Allen, and Dabo kind of talked about what he wants from his defense this year.
We gave up too many big plays. I mean, just, did not stop the run well. Probably our worst big play defense that we've had. I mean, we're just too many explosives, and so we've got to minimize that. People will make big plays, but we just got to get back on track, get back to our standard of what we were. And quite frankly, the year before we were top 10 in the country. So we can't be so inconsistent. And then we've got to be better in the red zone as far as giving up touchdowns. It's one thing people make a big play, and that don't mean they get a touchdown. Right. So in particular, those are two areas, and just doing the little things better than we did last year. We didn't tackle. We weren't a great tackling team. That showed up really in game one last year. We missed some critical tackles. So got a lot to get better at on that side for sure.
They were 64th in yards allowed per play and 90th nationally, giving up 5 yards per carry. And as Dabo talked about giving up the big play, similarly on the offense, they didn't connect on the big play a bunch. Cade Klubnik averaged under 12 yards of completion, which was 79th nationally. Klubnik was third in the country in passing touchdowns, but they just didn't hit big plays last year. So some of the things Clemson is working on their side going in, but Tom Allen's a guy that's got SEC experience. He was at Ole Miss there under Hugh Freeze in like 12, 13, 14. And now after being the former head coach at Indiana, this past year was the defensive coordinator at Penn State. Now comes to Clemson, and Dabo talked about Tom Allen's impact.
I mean, he's just the same guy every day. I mean, he loves what he does. He loves ball, and that's why I hired him, because there's a lot of people that know ball, but I wanted the right leader, and I just felt like he was the right leader to help me reset the room, not just for the players, but for the coaches too. And he's just done an awesome job of that. And again, it's the same every day. And I think that resonates to those guys, and they bought in, and then there's no compromise. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has a lot of conviction in what he believes as far as the fundamental things that we got to do to be a great defense, and that shows up every day.
It is fair to mention that Tom Allen had success last year at Penn State, but there have been times his defenses haven't been great, and there were a lot of not great years at Indiana. He had 2 winning seasons, but there was a couple of 2-win seasons in there as well, and the defenses weren't very good, so might feel like still a bit to prove with a new defensive head going in there against what should be a pretty formidable LSU offense if they can figure out that offensive line rotation. So talk plenty more, obviously, about LSU and Clemson as we get closer to kickoff on the 30th. We're brought to you by Supper Club. Of course, now that we're getting into football season, y'all, get your reservation. Those Football Fridays are going to be awesome at Supper Club. If you know you have friends or family or clients coming in for a home game, or you want to do it for a road game, book Supper Club now. Even if it's not until September or October or even November, book that Friday night dinner at Supper Club before a home game now, because you know it's going to be full and there's no better place you'd rather be. And man, there's just, it doesn't matter, what you order. We talk so much here, and rightfully so, about the steaks, because you have incredible steaks unlike you'll have anywhere else, quite literally, not only in Baton Rouge or Louisiana, but in the entire country. I mean, some of the Wagyu they get is literally a handful of restaurants in the world serve. But even if you don't eat steak, like mention the Chilean sea bass, it's an 8-ounce portion. It's marinated for 8 hours in a miso and citrus marinade. It's oven roasted, served on a bed of steamed bok choy. Sea bass is finished with a miso glaze. It's shiitake mushrooms that are blended in the glaze. It's garnished with scallions and green onions. I'm telling you, it is. I've had the Chilean sea bass at Supper Club. It is the best piece of fish you will ever eat in your life. So even if you're not eating steak, you will find the best chicken, fish, truffled lobster gnocchi, the Ora King salmon. There's something on the menu for everyone. It'll be the best you've ever had. Go experience Supper Club. Tuesday to Saturday, open right now. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. Okay, y'all. It is after further review. We're going to knock out a break. Come back. Jimmy will be here for Otter Locks. Picks are already up at LouisianaSports.net. Don't forget, if you don't want to wait until Jimmy's here to give them live on air, you can always get them shortly after 3 o'clock Central at LouisianaSports.net. We'll do Otter Locks with Jimmy next on AFR.
AFR.
Start transforming your life today. Talking about the way you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. YourGoodwood.com, YourGoodwood.com. Yes, Goodwood does ED treatments, but that's only one of many, many things that they offer. Hormone replacement therapy is something that, man, I love the fact that now so much of whatever stigma might have been centered around there is lifted, because people are willing to talk about testosterone therapy openly. And the more studies there are and the more we learn and the more we know, you realize that testosterone therapy has proven scientifically to have great heart health benefits, great for your prostate health. Learn more about what testosterone therapy can mean for you, not just being able to have a clear mind and increase mood and energy levels and libido and the opportunity to build muscle and burn fat and basically behave and perform and act and feel like you did when you were younger. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness can help. Lowest prices, never any contracts. YourGoodwood.com.
After further review, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana.
Down the stretch we come, final segment here on a Tuesday edition of AFR, powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing fantastic.
Great night last night. We 4-0.
And an add-on with Cincinnati in the first half to make it an even 5.
Let's go. Give my man a ding. Let's go. Tell you what, guys, riding a heater. Del Mar, what? Let's keep it going, man. What are we looking at tonight?
All right. You missed the boat early over Detroit and Houston. You know, Tariq Skubal and Hunter Brown have been outstanding. Two best pitchers for their teams this year. Skubal's big favorite to win the AL Cy Young, but they flattened out a little bit lately. This is a low number, especially with the Astros bullpen being taxed the way it is. It's at 7.5. So if you didn't get it down at 7 when we put it out on the website, I wouldn't advise it.
Okay.
Toronto in Scherzer. How about Scherzer? It was a fade against early, but he's bounced back. 3 really good outings. The past 3 outings, they're bouncing back from getting beat by Skeens last night. It was one of our picks last night, but And they're already off to a crooked number in the first inning. So a 2-run double has them up 2-0.
It's 3-0.
3-0. Hello. Okay. Well, you missed the boat on that one if you didn't get down early, too.
It pays to go to LouisianaSports.net and get the picks around 3 o'clock.
All right. Miami buying the run, -1, -104. Cabrera, he is outstanding. And they played sloppy last night. Good. You know, they were on their way. They were 2-0 lead, and then they were just dropping balls all over the place as St. Louis beat them. We like Cabrera tonight. He's been hot. Miami at home, -1, -104.
Miami is trailing 1-0 in the top of the first right now.
Well, I'd still play it.
So at -1, let's see what that number is right now. Hang on one second, Otter. At -1, Miami is +150.
There you go.
Okay. Don't be a moron.
Yes, indeed. Bet more on it. 2 more totals. We're going to Texas and Kansas City. How many times have I been on here and given you Seth Lugo, former Centenary star, just signed a big long-time reliever, turned to starter. But Matt, he has hit a wall, and I wonder about being a reliever for so long. He is a fade right now. We're going to go, but their bats are hot. So I think Kansas City is the high scoring with both teams here. Texas, Kansas City over 8.5 at Kaufman tonight. And then finally, our buddy Lopez, we bet last time because he had 17-inning scoreless streak. It's down 24. He shut out 7 more last week. We're going under Oakland, Minnesota. Joe Ryan has been outstanding, a bright spot in a rough year for the Minnesota Twins. Under Oakland, Minnesota, 8.5.
All the picks are at LouisianaSports.net. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We are at Dozy Place. I'm sorry.
We
were there today.
Yeah,
we're at Snow Seafood and Steak on Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
All right, man. We appreciate it. Good luck tonight. We'll talk tomorrow at 3, at 4, 5, 5:50-ish. Yeah, that's when.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Got it. Thank you, Otter. Yeah, I just lost track of what the time is of the place. The time of the place and the stuff in this thing. Okay, that's going to do it for us here. Y'all have a great night. Muse Pauly, thanks. AFR tomorrow from Tiger Stadium in the South Stadium Club. We'll see you then. 3 o'clock on AFR.
After further review.
As we get on down the road, remind you about First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, of course, your first call, as we say every day, should be to First South Farm Credit. Just remember, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. First South Farm Credit has been first in agriculture since 1916. Farmers know about First South Farm Credit. But maybe you want to buy that hunting property. I mean, this is the time. This is the time when you're prepping summer food plots. You want to bring in the deer now. You want to build that deer stand now. You don't want to do it right before hunting season. So let's get moving. First South Farm Credit. Start at the website at firstsouthland.com. You can explore that rural lifestyle. Firstsouthland.com. Get the phone number. Find the branch nearest you with more than 40 branches in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. It's First South Farm Credit. Visit firstsouthland.com.